Hey everyone, we're RollCall, a field trip management platform that's changing the way schools plan, manage, and execute field trips. So we were all students in elementary and high school at some point, and you know how much we loved going on field trips, getting to see the zoo, the aquarium, but we might not have considered is how intensive and the workload is to plan and manage a field trip for teachers, administrators, and parents. So the problem statement for our project is that field trip creation and approval process is very complicated and timely, and it's very difficult to get information from students without having using lots of paper and having multiple communication streams. So the hardest parts of planning a field trip are getting proper funding, creating the plan, and the educational aspects, as well as time management. So here's our solution. Our solution is RollCall, an all-in-one web-based platform for field trip management. We will have multiple views tailored to each user type. One is the administrator, who can manage approvals of field trips and the budget. The teacher, who can create trips and has access to student emergency info. And then the student and parent, who can access trip details, sign permission slips, and upload medical information. The minimum viable product for our demo will be the teacher view, where we can see at the end we'll be able to create trips and view their trips as well. So the business model for roll call is schools will receive 5 free trips to explore roll call's capabilities, and then after that 5 free trials, the trips are priced per trip per student at a price of $5 per student plus any initial setup fees. Our target audience is designed to serve public, private, charter, and boarding schools, as well as trips that are both curricular and extracurricular. So, for our market research, we talked to a lot of teachers and administrators who reported frustration with paper based field trip planning. The vast majority of school districts do not have a digital platform to organize field trips. We conducted research from coast to coast, starting from the West Coast in Washington and all the way down the coast and to the east with New York, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, just getting to hear a wide range of perspectives and see how school districts across the country do this field trip process differently and what needs they might have. Next, we conducted user testing where we had our customers go through our website and see what features they didn't like and give us feedback on what might take too long or what was unnecessary, what colors they liked, and we got some really good feedback. They had told us that the process was not onerous at all, and that anyone who thought that the process was too long and complicated probably should not be taking kids on field trips anyways. And they also really loved that we were moving the field trip creation process online because it's going to be better that way. Now we will consider the state of the design. So here we will move to our demo and a website demo of how RollCall works. So users can sign in and they can see that on the landing page that they will see their username that they have created an account with. So on the main landing page, they see the dashboard where they can see the number of trips per grade, the proposed trips, the permission slip progress, as well as the how many people have signed the permission slip and how many people have not signed the permission slip. The next feature that we have is the create a trip feature where teachers can create a trip. So let's say they are taking their class on a zoo trip. They can say that this is a curricular trip. They can select their destination as well, and they can also select the date of this trip. They can also indicate what kind of trip it is, if it's an overnight, out of state, or international trip. In addition, they can say what subject area this covers, what the activity entails, how the trip relates to the curriculum, arrangements that were been made, and eligibility criteria. Next is the transportation. So they're going to need to take their students to the place somehow, and they can indicate what transportation they're taking. So let's say they're taking a bus. They can also list down any other travel accommodations they might have. Here they can select what class they're taking on their trip. So if they're teaching multiple classes, they might indicate period 1, 2, or 3. Next, they can add in the staff members that are going with them on this trip. So if Miss Patricia Jones is going on this trip, her information would populate here with her phone number and school email. They can also add non-staff chaperones as well. Here they can add in the source of funding for the trip. So they can add in the estimated cost per student and the total estimated cost as well. And lastly, this page is for any documents that they might want to add, and this could be like trip itinerary, payment information, the permission slip itself, health documents, etc. Once they click submit, they get a notification that their trip has been successfully submitted for review and that they can see the status of their request for the trip. So this is the trip that we just submitted. They can see here that the status says pending, the date of the trip, where the trip is. They can also see the details of this trip. So yeah, these are the details that they just inputted, and here we can see that based on the roster that they put in for period 1, we can see the total number of people, total students, the total number of adults. Since they clicked period 1, these are all the students that are in period 1, and they can see the health conditions for these students, if they have received their payment or not, if their permission slip has been signed. The staff information populates, as well as the funding, and the document that they've inputted has also been populated. Yep, thank you.